Hi everybody, if you're a regular of my channel and an old watcher, you will know that for the past 10 years nearly, I've used an Icon variant helmet. Not the same one, I've had 3 along the way, this is my number 3, and I absolutely love these helmets. To be clear, I was given 2 of those helmets by Icon, but that was through request, not them offering. And when I say request, I mean more like begging. So fully up front, yes, I was given this by Icon, but they've not told me to say anything, they don't know anything about this video, and this is completely off my own back. As I say, I ask for the helmet, I request it, I'm not offered it. So I thought I'd answer, because you might wonder, why are you still continuing to use an Icon variant after all these years, even though I've updated to the Pro now, why are you still using them? And I thought, okay, let me do that video. So, reason number 1, the reason I got it in the first place was, and I know it's not for everyone, I love the looks. I do think that the old Icon variant looked very nice, especially in black with like a gold visor. I do prefer the new one. I know it's a bit different, a bit more angular, but for me, it feels slightly lighter. I'm not sure if it is, I haven't checked that, but there's just things about it that seem more compact and nicer, and the print on this, I absolutely love. So the reason I originally picked it, as I say, was on looks, but then I realised I loved the helmet, and that's why I kept getting the same helmet again and again. So that leads on to number 2, which is starting the things that I noticed about this helmet that I loved so much. For me, comfort was absolutely amazing in all the variants I've had. I know some other people have problems with it being too elongated, you know, head shape, but for me, they fit me perfectly. The old one fitted me probably slightly better than this. I think they made a slight... I think they went from less elongated to slightly rounder, and it did mean that I had some slight pinching when I first got this helmet on my forehead, but that went away over time, as it does. It just took slightly longer than you'd normally expect, the bed-in period of a helmet, shall we say. But now it is bedded in, this thing is incredibly comfortable. I really do like it a lot. And in the summer you get lots of ventilation with this. Okay, it's not maybe as much as a true MX helmet, but it does seem to get a good amount of air around your head, you know, in between the gaps here, and you've got the vents on the top that go through and over and help take, you know, the moist warm air at the back of the helmet. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. It's just comfortable to use for me. It may not fit other people so well. Number 3 for me is one of the biggest factors, and it will apply to the least people, and that is the Icon variant helps you get fantastic audio when you make motorcycle videos. Because of the extra space in front of your face, you know, you get 2-3 fingers, a couple of fingers more than you might get on a normal helmet. You can get microphones in here, and I've obviously got my Cena headset with the microphone this side, and then the microphone I use for when I'm using my camera, my GoPro mounted on the front, and I have a video on this setup, and on making that microphone, because, you know, I do answer all the questions people ask. They don't necessarily go looking for them before asking me, though. And then the cable that goes into my audio recorder comes out the helmet here, and basically, yes, it just lives hanging out of my helmet, and it's annoying, but it's the cleanest way and the best way so I can use my audio recorder for the best audio I can get. But yeah, this extra space in here just makes the audio in this helmet so much better than the other helmets I've used in the past, and that's one of the reasons I never wanted to move away, because when you move away from this shape, I don't know if I'm going to lose the good audio, and that's going to mean no good helmet for me. My number 4 reason does apply to everyone, and that is peripheral vision. I find the peripheral vision in this helmet to be absolutely great. I've come to realise maybe it's not as good as this in a lot of helmets, because when I've had discussions to do with open-faced helmets and people saying, well, there's more peripheral vision in an open face, I'm comparing it to this helmet and realise that the cutout is actually quite a way behind my eye, which means I can see side to side very widely. You know, this is a big open space to be looking out. Maybe other helmets don't have it quite as good as this. I haven't, as I say, this is the problem. Maybe I should have used more helmets in my time and then I'd have better things to compare to. But this has been so good for me that I've been happy with it. So peripheral vision is something they've talked about in the ideas, the concepts for the designs and the cut of why the helmet is the way it is. And, well, I agree with that. And the reason number 5, which is a thing that most people will say they dislike about this helmet, which is the peak, because they say, oh, it'll catch the wind. It does to a point, but not that much, as long as you keep your head down a bit. Up to, you know, 72, 73 miles an hour. I've never had an issue with wind speed in this helmet. Now, admittedly, if you do look up at, you know, 71, maybe 71.5 miles an hour, it can pull your head back. So you want to make sure your head's kept down. That's a true difference. You can't get around the fact that this is on here and it can only, you know, they have got cuts and stuff in it to try and make it not have too much effect and the angles so it cuts into the air. But there will be an amount of resistance because it is there. However, that is not the reason I love it, and it is not the looks. It's the fact that in the winter, when the sun is very low, what you can do is where you'd normally be riding like this, for instance, you just tilt your head a little bit more and look up more, and you can get a shadow from this visor just about this far down your visor, and you can look through here through a completely clear gap because you've got no glare from the sun because you've shielded it with the visor. If you don't have a visor, you're never going to get that, and you're going to get glare top to bottom. Even with mirrored visors, even with smoke things, the glare on the outside is something that can't really be removed unless you can shield it, and that's what that does. And where I live, it just seems that the sun gets very low, the roads get very wet, everything gets very shiny, and sometimes I feel like I'm relying on my ability to see clearly with this. And that seems like a big safety pro to me. I mean, I don't know how other people deal with that. It's just something I've always done because I've always had helmets with peaks that you could do it with. So there you go, there is my 5 points as to why I've continued to use the Icon variant all this time. As I say, I don't have any great affiliation with Icon other than they gave me this helmet. I have tried to contact them, see if we can do some more stuff, because I'm interested in looking some more of Icon's gear, particularly the textile stuff that's available. But unfortunately, it seems the person I used to contact at Icon is in the European distributor, not the people in America, no longer works there, so I've kind of lost my contact with them, which is sad. So Icon, if you're watching this, please get in contact. I want to do some gear reviews, and I would like to look at some of your gear. If you're interested, business email is down below. Same for any other gear companies that are watching. I am interested in doing reviews on gear. You may have noticed I've not talked about safety standards or anything like that. There isn't a huge amount of testing on these helmets other than the required things. A lot of people think because they see DOT so big here that these aren't legal in the UK. As you can see, there is an ECE rating below it right there. They are ECE approved. I've seen people use these, crash them, and not have any worries, and I'm happy with that, and that is my risk to take. So yes, when you're picking a helmet, safety ratings should be important. Make sure it's got the minimum for your country, and if you want to have more, security of mind, and you want to get something with one of the big testing people on, do that. So there you go, that should answer all the questions I get about this helmet generally. I have a video on how I've set the mic up and stuff on it. I've done a review on this helmet itself and talked about it compared to the other one. I've even done testing on the visors to see, what it takes to break one of these visors. It's all on my channel if you want to see it. They're quite hidden videos because they never really did too well, but they're quite interesting, actually, things like testing the visor on it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, press the like button, subscribe if you're new here. If you want to help support this channel, please do that through Patreon. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.